don't want to have the camera on me because I didn't want to talk yet because I was still kind of gathering my thoughts. But I feel like I'm invading my neighbor's privacy. So I'm going to take the camera off of their houses. I was trying to show you guys the sun rising. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have so much to talk to you guys about. And if I'm honest, I don't really want to talk to you about any of this. We have so many conversations to have locally, and they're all less than positive conversations. I was preparing this live, and I had a myriad of things to talk about, from the police murdering a man on Avenue D recently to the police essentially kicking and punching a man who was being detained by several officers on Remington last night on camera, kneeling on his neck. But what I mostly think that I want to talk about now, guys, is the fact that in the last week, maybe week and a half, I know of 3 different incidences where young, beautiful, intelligent, successful, articulate, motivated Black women somehow, in the midst of the prime of their life, were so overwhelmed by their living situations that they thought that suicide was the only way to resolve their issues. And this is near and dear to my heart, guys. I always try to raise awareness for mental health awareness. I always try to talk about checking in, about taking care of yourself, about making sure that you're okay. And I think that it's more important now than it ever has been, especially for people of color, that we take care of our mental health. It is hard to be Black and not have anything happening to you. It is hard right now to be a Black person who lives an affluent, wealthy lifestyle and doesn't interact with the police and has all of their ducks in a row. That is not the majority of Black people. So if you're a Black person that is dealing with any type of stress, trauma, triggering behavior in your life, and you're living in America right now, it's incredibly stressful for you. If you don't internalize that, thank you, Jesus, that you're not taking it on. But most of us are having a hard time. Yesterday, Breonna Taylor would have turned 28 years old. Black women do not receive any protection. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to debate this. The reality of the situation is there is no woman, there is no being that is less protected and more disrespected on this planet than a Black woman in America. And Breonna Taylor is evidence of that, right? The police shot this woman and killed her while she was in her home. Not one person was charged, and we're arguing about bonnets. We're policing how Black women can wear their hair when they're being murdered by the police, by Black men, by other Black women, with impunity. And they're also so overwhelmed with the burdens that they have to carry by society, and the fact that they have to do it with a smile on their face and a child on their hip and some grace in their heart. It is causing them to kill themselves. We are putting pressures and burdens on women that they can't bear. And women, I want to say to you, stop. Stop. Don't take on more than you can bear. You are enough. And I'm saying this because I can promise you, if there's any person that ever felt like, whoa, this is more than I signed up for, this is more than I can handle, this is not fun anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to live this life anymore, it's certainly been me. When I was going through everything, everybody thought I was so strong and I was so happy. Guys, there were so many times that I was like, you know what, I could just kill myself. This whole question of whether I did it or not will actually get figured out. People will look at the evidence here and be like, wow, she didn't even really do this. This will come out in the wash. But in any event, I won't have to deal with the pressure, the pain, the things that people say. I can just go take a bunch of pills. My kids will be millionaires, which was really my whole goal in life, was for my children to be financially independent. I can die a judge. This whole shit is over. Nobody gets removed for DWI. Nobody's life gets ruined over DWI. You guys think I didn't think that? I did on more than one occasion. It was horrible. I thought, I worked my whole life to be a judge and I'm going to lose everything I worked my whole life for. I might as well just hang it up. And when you're in the moment, it feels like you really did lose everything and you can't come back from it and you can't fix it. And it's overwhelming and it's too much work. And to be honest, even if you can, who the hell wants to start over? Who wants to rebuild their whole life? Who wants to publicly fail and be ostracized for any reason, you know? And it feels like that. My situation was really public, guys, so that's obviously different. But if it's a breakup, If it's a failing test grade, if it's a bad semester, it feels public. It feels like you failed the people that depend on you, the people that believed in you, the people that were relying on you. And some of us can't deal with failure right now. The stakes are really high. The expectations are really high. I don't know if you guys realize that the expectations for women are that we be, especially for Black women, right? Are that we be absolutely flawlessly beautiful at all times, right? We're supposed to look effing airbrushed. We're supposed to wake up with eyelashes that make us look like baby giraffes. Our hair is supposed to be absolutely perfect and unfazed through the night, even though we're not allowed to wear bonnets because those aren't attractive. We can't have hyperpigmentation, even though that's just a regular side effect of being a Black woman, that you get hyperpigmented when you have skin problems. We can't have skin problems. We have to have makeup and acne peels and lip injections and fucking eye fillers. And like, it's ridiculous the level of attractive you have to be to even exist in society, right? Then you have to have a boob job, and you have to have a tummy tuck, and you have to have all of your skin gone, and you have to have, like, the pressure for women to be attractive, that's just attractiveness. But then you can't be a whore with it, right? You have to have this perfect body and keep it completely covered. And you, like, it's just a lot of pressure, guys. And there's already a lot of pressure with being Black. And we're all already doing the best that we can. And it's hard. Depression is so serious, because it makes it feel like you can't do anything. It makes it so difficult. I remember, and I used to say it, I go home and get in the bed. I would come home and get in the bed. I remember telling my employer that, saying, I'm not okay, guys. I do need to go to a program. I do. And that's hard, right? It's hard to say, I do need help. I remember telling my employer, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Mentally, I'm not okay. I need to be in some type of program. I can't get out of my bed. I can't get out of my bed. I can't get up in the morning. I'm not okay. Like, I just lay there all day and think about this, and I just cry, and I'm not physically okay. And no one helped me. And that happens often too. People reach out on Facebook, people reach out to friends, people reach out and say, I'm not okay. And they say, yeah, well, suck it up, buttercup. It's not that big a deal. All right, you've gotten through worse before. Okay. No, you can't be depressed, and you can't even get help for depression, guys. You listen to people where they are. People are hurting. People need you. People are dying inside here. It is such an amount of pain and despair that seems to just hang over Rochester constantly. Check in with your circle. And make sure everyone's okay. And guys, I want to be clear. I'm saying this to you because, like, I'm totally fine. I'm in a great place in my life right now. And that's the point. When you're going through something, you feel overwhelmed. You feel like it will never end. You feel like the world is against you. You feel like the only way out is, right, to end things. But you're wrong. You're wrong, because when you go through shit, guess what? If you keep going, eventually you get through shit. But the pain and the loneliness and the despair that you feel when you're going through it, you can't let that overwhelm you. You can't let that overtake you. You have to find someone that you can talk to, that you can tell, that you can vent to, that you can release those feelings to, because they're not real, they're not accurate, they're not at all a reflection or an assessment of who you are. They don't accurately reflect you, your importance, your standing in life, or ultimately the reason that the universe had you here. It is just a time that you're going through. It is just a struggle that you're dealing with, and struggling sucks. And I don't know why. I don't know why we are struggling so much as of late, but it is temporary. I promise you, any of your struggles, they're not going to last. And if you can make it through them, I promise you there is a beautiful lesson on the other side of those struggles. Guys, I said to you the other day that my mother is alive, but I don't have a mother. My mother is dead for my intents and purposes. And that's a very private thing for me to share. I don't share stuff like that. I shared it because that hurts me. You guys think that I have this wonderful support system because everybody in Rochester constantly tells you that they like me. People in Rochester like me because it's cool to like me right now. I don't have a great support. I don't want to say that, because my support system that I do have is amazing. But I often look at so many of you putting up billboards or opening up, and the level of support that you get from the community or from your families. I'm jealous all the time. I'm like, wow, I wish that I had. I don't want to say jealous, because jealous implies, that you want to take that from that person. I'm happy for all of you that you have things, but I look at it and I'm like, I wish I had those kinds of familial relationships, or I wish I had those bonds. I don't have them either, guys. Sometimes you have to reach inside of yourself and find that thing that you need. Maybe you form a relationship with God. Maybe that's how you get through. Maybe you form a relationship with Allah. Maybe you get deeper into your own spiritual practices. You look into Buddhism. Maybe you exercise more. Maybe you do more self-care, guys. Sometimes you can't depend on other people. I am a person who just, unfortunately, for whatever reason, the relationships I have plenty of good relationships, but often I feel alone. At the end of the day, I come home and sometimes it's self-inflicted. I don't even ask people to do things for me. I don't even ask people for their assistance, right? I take it on to myself. Sometimes I feel alone, and that's fine if you're okay with being alone. But when you're not okay, and you know when you're not okay, guys, I knew when all of you were finding out who I was and all of you were seeing me on YouTube and all of you, I wasn't okay. I wasn't remotely okay. And to add insult to injury, I had reached out to people that were supposed to help me, and they had shit on me and put more of my business in the news to make me less okay. People don't always have safe places. And guys, I love that all of you are like, hey, let me help you. But please don't help me. Because I'm telling you that even though I feel alone all the time, I have supports, I have sisters, I have friends, I have family, I have people. But there were times I didn't. Look in your own circle. Look in your circle. There are people that definitely, I bet you on this live in and of itself, there are people who are feeling alone. I see on Facebook almost every day, people say they're feeling lonely. And then I'll see people say back like, you need attention. Guys, look, at the end of the day, right? If people are doing stuff for attention, the hell do you care? Give them some attention. If somebody is desperate enough to get on the internet and pretend that they're going to kill themselves for attention and likes, they got some shit going on. Trust me. They're a little crazier than you think. Give them their attention. What's it going to kill you? Like their comment. Are you okay? How hard is it to give people a little love and compassion? It's not hard, guys. We're all people. We should treat each other like people. We all need support. Right. Nina Castro said Jesus for her. Guys, if Jesus is your thing, get it. If you're feeling alone and you don't have people to reach out to a thing. Jesus, I love God, but Jesus is not my thing. I'm not a religious freak. I like God. I like Allah. I really want to start reading the Quran. I haven't read the whole Bible, but I've read a lot of it. I want to read the Quran. Reading, writing, journaling, exercising, those are my things. I am a Taurus and I am less into people, guys. You know, I know you guys all see me and you think I'm so social and I love you all to death and I want you all to do well, but I don't really like people like that. You know, people are a little peoply and nobody agrees with anyone on everything, right? So that always becomes an issue because I'm very opinionated. You have to give people the support, whether you want to or not, whether you felt like it or not, we have to be a real community and we have to be here for people because we need each other so much right now. I think that the level of need is at an all-time high for affection, compassion, love. We've been locked in the house for almost 2 years, guys. Some of us weren't in the best place mentally when that started. We weren't in a position to be quarantined with all of our personalities for 2 years. You know, some of us couldn't take that. Some of us reject mental health on a regular and consistent basis and have only become more deluded, right, in our isolation that we're not mentally ill. I say some of us because I mean some of us, because the majority of us suffer with mental health issues. Depression is a mental health issue, and if you're feeling ashamed or embarrassed about that, guess what? A lot of people have depression. A lot of people have anxiety. Life is super hard. We just lived through a pandemic. Give yourself some grace and compassion. The grace and compassion that you extend to the people that you love when they do things that are wrong and they do things that are hurtful and you extend grace and compassion to them, extend some of that to you. You deserve it and you need it just as much as they do. Guys, I believe that mobile crisis is 275-5151. I'm going to look. 311 can always help you, can direct you if you are feeling alone, you want to talk to somebody. If you're feeling like, geez, I want to hurt myself and I don't trust myself to not hurt myself, then I suggest you call a non-police agency to get you some assistance, because sometimes you can't do it by yourself. And that doesn't make you a weak person. It actually makes you a strong person for knowing your limitations. The last thing I want to say to anybody who is feeling on the fence or depressed or down or anxious or struggling with mental health issues is this. Think of the people that you love. as many times as this was going on and I wanted to end it all and be like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't deserve this level of accountability. Whatever I do deserve, you can think I'm an alcoholic, you can think, but I don't deserve this level of penalty and I can't take it anymore. When I felt that way inside of my soul and inside of my being, I thought of my children. And I thought about how saying, well, they'll be millionaires, and that was my whole goal my whole life, was such a fucking cop-out. I thought about how selfish it really was. And some days I would be like, you know what, you deserve to be selfish. You've never been selfish. But I thought about how much it would hurt the people I loved. Because even if I didn't feel part of anything, and even if I felt alone, and even if I felt that nobody was there for me the way I needed them to be, right? I knew that even the people who weren't being there for me the way I felt I needed them to be loved the hell out of me. Loved and adored me and would go to the ends of the earth and back for me, and I knew that it would kill them inside if I killed myself, because the message, no matter what I was trying to say, would be that they had failed me, that they had let me down, that they had not been enough, that they had not done enough. And to anybody who's on the cusp or who's thinking, please let that be your guiding point. Remember the people that love you and that you will leave them with a sense of guilt that you never, ever, ever intended to transmit, but that I don't know that anyone will ever, ever, ever be able to relieve. And that's not what you want, to end your suffering. And I understand that, but you don't want to cause more suffering. So the way that you're going about it is all wrong. To anyone who's recently lost someone, specifically to suicide, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And it's not your fault. People are constantly waging private battles. Look at me, about to cry on live. That's what I'm about to get off of here. People are constantly going through things and carrying things and fighting things. And we've gotten to a place in this society where some people delight in being horrible and nasty to people who are down on their luck. It is not your fault that society is like this. Try to keep that person in your heart and to extend grace and compassion to people everywhere you go from now on, because you never know what a person is struggling through. You really don't, guys. People carry so much silently, and it kills them and eats them alive all the time. Be kind to one another. It's really just that simple. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go work out. I just wanted to say to you guys that this is on my heart. And I don't know why all of this happened to me still. But if it happened to me so it doesn't happen to someone else, then I'll eat it. Then I will take it. Then it is worth it. Then it is worth the sacrifice. If my pain can stop you or several of you, right, from going through it, then I will happily carry that burden. I hope that this is helpful to you. If it was, please comment, like, share. Guys, it's really, really, really important. We have to take care of one another. We have to. We cannot allow this stigma to continue. Get help if you need it. That is the strong thing to do. That is what your family wants. You are loved. Whether you know it and believe it or not, you are loved. If nobody else loves you, I love you. Plenty of people love you. You just can't see it where you are right now. I promise you. And if you have it in you, go love on somebody today. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to get some coffee. Whoever's behind me, paying for your coffee, because it's that kind of day. Pay it forward, guys. Bless somebody. You're blessed to be a blessing. That's how your blessings keep coming. Don't focus on what you lack. Focus on what you have. Be grateful for what you have, and you will have even more. You're blessed to be a blessing. Please bless somebody today. I promise you they need it. You've all blessed me just by being here. Like I said, like, share, comment, all of that stuff. I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to be rich, not just famous, y'all. So help me out here, okay? Have a great day. I love you. Take care of each other, right? I'm trying to find some catchy tagline, but I only ever say shit I mean, so none of that's catchy. I do love you, and I do mean for you guys to take care of yourselves and each other. And I think that might even be Jerry Springer's, so, like, I'm struggling. Somebody send me some suggestions. Have a great day, guys.